Well, Craig, we sat down a year ago and you said progress was playoffs. This season we're in the playoffs. How good a feeling is that for you?
It's amazing. I think how far we've come in the last 2 years to get where we are, the moments we've had at this place, this corner, the togetherness in the group and the club as a whole, and that trajectory of the football club's on the way up. So it'd been really disappointing not to get in the playoffs. Could argue we could have deserved a little bit more out of the season, but I think a 5th place finish is solid, and I'm really looking forward to the next couple of weeks now.
Yeah, now the regular season's finished, have you had a chance to reflect on it as a whole, and what moments stand out for you?
Yeah, so I've done a lot of reflecting the last couple of weeks. Obviously there's been a little bit of negativity about, and the run of form hasn't been where we would have wanted it to be. The last 6-7 games, couple of external factors in that. But we're really happy where we are now, and obviously I remember walking to the club 2 years ago and there was a apprehension or a fear of playing a certain team. I think we've put that to bed. We've had a really successful season against them. We've had some unbelievable moments there. It's going to sound really boring, but the win up at Barrow was very good. I remember coming in and people saying, we haven't got a team that can go and put these performances on away from home and be gritty, and I thought it was excellent away at Barrow, and that was a right moment where I was like, yeah, this is a team we want to see. This is a team that can challenge and compete. The biggest moment for me that I've had that took me back a little bit was I remember walking into the changing room and having the chat with Johnny first season, and the changing room, the training ground was really bad. I'm struggling to find the words to describe how bad it was. I went down to see the physio room, and there was this noise coming out of the changing room, music blaring, and I was like, what's going on? I'll go have a little look. I don't go. I said, I'll have a little look, and I sat there watching a darts tournament, music blaring, James Tilley and Josh Nerfield dressed as bouncers walking in, Ryan Johnson, and that's when I really took a step back and gone, we've got something here. This is what we've tried to create, myself, Johnny and all the staff. This is what we've tried to create amongst the group, and that was a real proud moment.
Absolutely, and obviously you signed Marcus Brown, Sam Hutchinson, Osman Foyo. They've all come in and had an impact in their own way since the winter. How well have those moves worked out for us, would you say? Yeah,
really well. I mean, I think we put a good squad together in the summer. It was obviously our second summer together. So we put a good squad together in the summer that we thought can challenge at the top end. And then it was about, within our means, it was how we can try and get over the line. Ozzy was obviously one to try and drip in bits and bobs this season, see if he can make an impact, which he did hit Harrogate. It was brilliant. And then he's one for the future. He's one that we're really excited about. The other two were trying to come and help us with their experiences. Obviously, Sam's got an illustrious playing career, was out of contract for whatever reason, had a bit of a disappointing year at Reading last year with injuries, but what a stamp he's put on it, scoring the goal Saturday, what a stamp he's put on it. And then Brownie, I mean, how that player's out of a club's, without a club's, scandalous really. So I'm really glad we can help him in this 6-month stint, and hopefully he can help us. Obviously his last experience with the club was a playoff campaign, so hopefully he can help us with this one.
There's no getting away with it. There was obviously a lot of pressure placed on that Grimsby game for obvious reasons. How did you help to keep the football department in a good frame of mind ahead of that match? I don't think it was much, but I think the best thing I've done, the best thing that I've influenced that is put the right people in place. So the squad took care of themselves. I mean, the staff just got on with the job. The leaders and the characters we've got in the group, they just manage the whole process. So I didn't need to do anything day to day, and nor would they want me to, because that's what we've brought them in for, to go and use those moments. So me specifically, nothing. It was more just, these are my processes were put in place 12 months ago, put in place 2 years ago, let the people you put in place go and run them. But I must say how disappointed we all were after the Port Vale game and how that played out.
and obviously not getting a result at Doncaster a couple of weeks before that, and obviously disappointment after the Gillingham game. For the characters amongst the group to pick everyone up and keep going. So picking everyone up is probably not the right word, because they're such a strong, resilient group. But yeah, I was really impressed just watching last week and seeing the staff work really hard to get that result, and seeing the squad we put together deliver it as well.
And of course at Grimsby you had the gaffer Johnny Jackson next to you for the game. What was that like as an experience?
No, it was really good. I mean, we've done it before. Obviously, when he's been suspended before, obviously I don't want to see it too much that happened too much. Sorry, because obviously I want him on the touchline where he can really influence the game. But it was good. Like we work really well together. We're really close, and everything we've done in the last 2 years, we've done together with the staff around us. And I must say, I thought Terry Skiverton was unbelievable last week. He really took the mantra, and he owned that touchline. And it was a difficult game to get thrown into, but obviously he's done it before. He's got promotions before. He's been and done everything. So I must say Terry was excellent last week, and then as were the staff preparing for that game. Sitting next to the gaffer was all right. The seats were a bit small. It's probably why I've got a bad knee, but the seats were a bit small. But other than that, Grimsby really looked after us, and yeah, it was really good. You
mentioned Terry Skiverton. It would be rude not to mention Dave Reddington and also
Yeah.
Ashley Bays. Just tell us about the impact that they've had. Obviously, Dave being new to the staff this season.
No, I think you can see on the pitch some of the stuff Dave's implemented. He's been like a new signing, really. He's really added to what we've done across the season. He's had to adapt his experiences, obviously working at a very high level, to come into League Two and seeing some of the training. He just buys into it, and he's just thrown himself into this role. And I couldn't have asked for anyone better to come into the role, really. And obviously we made and his appointment in the summer, and I think to date it's probably paid off. And then I don't know where you start with Bezo, really. I mean, what an incredible human being first and foremost. And then I think that's Bassey got pipped by 1 goal last year, but that'd be the second keeper we've had Golden Glove in 2 years. Had he not been pipped last year? So there's a lot of questions about Owen coming in, if I'm being honest and truthful. And statistically and voting wise, he's the best goalkeeper in the league. So we're over the moon that we've stuck with him. We're over the moon with the resilience Owen showed, and we're over the moon with what Bezo's done with him, and Wardy's supporting him from behind as well. I think Ashley Bays has delivered again, hasn't he, really?
You know how this football club works, and the role of our fans being a key part of that. What message do you want to send to them at this exciting time?
Yeah, I don't think it changes from the fans forum 2 years ago. I think that was a real pivotal point at the time, and I was like, we're going to put a team on the pitch that hopefully you guys can recognise yourselves with, and I think we've done that. And ever since then, they've been right behind me. They've been right behind everything we've tried to do as a football club, and you know, we're progressing year on year. So stick with us, get it behind us, give us everything you've got. Like, Grimsby was incredible. Honestly, me and the gaffer sat there on the halfway line, and all we can hear is Wimbledon songs and walking down the Aidens Road and things like that. So we, just stick with us, give us as much noise as possible. One of the things we've discussed in the past is we're good when we've got a real plough lane atmosphere behind us. And you think about those games we've gone and taken away from teams and gone and beat good teams, is when we've had that atmosphere. And that's away from home as well. So if we're selling nearly 2,000 up at Notts County next week, just make it as loud as possible, because it will spur the lads on. And that shouldn't get dropped lightly. That's honestly, we built this squad to play in those sort of crowds, and that's what we want.
Togetherness, resilience, constant improvement. Those are the values you set out for the club. Do you feel like we've lived those well? Okay, so
it's obviously not the ones I've set out for the club. I think they are the club's values. It's what I've gone and myself and Johnny have gone, right, if this is what the club wants to be, we can stem our philosophy instead what we're going to put in for the next 2-3 years based on these values. And I think we've done it on, I think we've got a style of play that's resilient. I think we've got a style of play that we can constantly improve from. And there's that togetherness in the group. So everything from style of play to what we do on the training pitch, to what we do on the how we walk about hotels, how we present ourselves in public. I think we've recruited lads and staff and people that still here have bought into those. So you've got to know where you come from. You've got to know, especially a club like Wimbledon, it's a special football club, and you have to know what the roots are. We have little reminders around a training ground that you've helped me with, and Jones has helped me with, and everything. And I genuinely think these people at the embody what this football club is now.
Fantastic. And then, given the position we're in, have we been planning for every eventuality?
Yeah, of course we have. Andy Thorne's been relentless this year, to be fair to him, and his scouts just scouting as much as we can. Obviously, there was a plan 2 years ago to build a League Two squad that can compete at level because we couldn't. I think you've seen that come to fruition now. It's about evolving that squad and making sure we can either compete at the level higher or we can compete again at this level if we stay down. Just try and finish above where we finished this season. That's got to be the goal year on year. So work's been going on. I haven't got 2 lists. Everyone goes, "Oh, you got 2 lists?" I haven't got 2 lists. I've got 1 list. And I think if we're in League One, we might get players 1 and 2 on that list. If we're in League Two, we might get players 3 or 4 on that list. But we know how we play. We know what the club's about. And we'll be recruiting that profile of player again. It's done us well in the past, and you've got to come into this football club and wear this shirt and play in this atmosphere, play in this stadium. So we know what we're looking for. We're not going to sign any curveballs or anything that doesn't really suit what we try and do, hopefully. And they've got to come in and get on board with it, haven't they? They've got to come in and really play their part, which the lads have done to date.
Obviously, you've just touched on it, but with the summer transfer window, you obviously got one eye on it, as always. What progress has sort of been made towards that? Is there any sort of talks with potential targets yet, or do you really have to wait?
No, there is. And to be fair, there's obviously players now know they're getting released, don't know they're getting released. Obviously, we've been watching players for the last two and a half years, really. So you might scout a player 18 months ago and go, it'd be good for us one day, and you then carry on looking at him, and then sometimes you miss out because someone else has jumped in before you and whatnot. So we've got some really exciting players that we're looking at. Obviously now they've been told if they're getting released or they're staying or they're available for transfer or whatever, we can start talking to them properly. We've had a conversation with one this morning, so hopefully that progresses, and yeah, obviously we're going to try and concentrate on the playoffs, keep the staff focused on that, keep the players focused on that, and then we will talk about contracts after, we'll talk about new signings after. Everything's got to be towards his next, hopefully, 3 games.
Absolutely. And then a nice way to finish, obviously 15 years working in football for yourself. What would it mean to gain promotion after 2 years of progressing this club?
It honestly mean everything. More so for my family, really. Just talk about me personally. Obviously they've been there all the way, and they've seen losing the final at Solihull to Grimsby. Lost the final at Solihull to Grimsby, that was heartbreaking. Knocked out in the playoffs at Solihull before that. I've always loved the EFL playoffs, it's my favourite time of the year, and now to be a part of them is amazing, really. So if we can go up that way, then I don't think you can ask for better. And then talk about this football club, if you can have an influence in helping drag a football club up from, not a dark, I don't think it was that dramatic, but a downward spiral, you can help turn it around and get back into League One. What an incredible life experience, not just one for your CV, what an incredible 2 years I've had at the football club, some really, really good people, and couldn't ask for like a better manager and staff behind him and scouting team and everything we've had, and obviously you guys here at the stadium. And it's more for that. I want to do it because I think the people around the football club deserve that, but that's probably the same at Notts County, it's probably the same at Chesterfield and at Walsall. So we've got to make sure we apply ourselves well and hopefully get there.
Lovely way to put it. Craig, we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Cheers guys, thank you.